What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Takara Tomy Transformers MPG Suiken. Now, I think I'm saying that right. It's a kind of tough name to say, but this is the fourth in the series of train bots from the MPG line that make up the Combiner Raiden. And thanks to G. Tony for allowing me to take a look at these. I am going to hold on to these until the final review for the combined mode. This is number 4. We have 2 more to go. So let's take a look at this train mode. You get some nice orange paint, green paint, silver, just plastic up here. At least it's kind of like a swirly gray plastic, but at least it doesn't have too much of that. Here's the back. You got the painted door there. And wheels. It does not fit on the tracks. I looked. It's just off ever so slightly on the dimensions. Like, it just doesn't fit in between the tracks. So you can kind of get it on there, but it's not going to roll. So you can just sort of fake it. There you go. There is some things you need to do out of box if you want to store away the weapon and also the combined mode weapon. So first off, this is a parts former, in case you didn't know, so you do have to take it apart. So we can pull it apart here. There's 2 tabs there, 2 tabs on the top that just hold it together by friction. Set this down. You're going to come into here. You can actually see there's his Ken piece there, but we're actually going to open this up. So basically unpeg these from each side, and that allows us to lift up here. There's a double hinge, and basically fold this back. All right, in here we can see we already got the shoulder cannon stored there. So we're going to take the combined mode gun, we're going to take it apart. And this piece is the first piece we're going to store. This is going to sit right in here with the kind of wing piece aimed downwards. So that's going to peg it in. There's a little tab in there. So plug that onto there. Then you're going to take this and close this down back over. Just check both sides, make sure those tabs are making their way back in. And then you can tab the wheels back together on the bottom. Then come to this part here, and there's another little slot here. So we're going to take this piece right here, fold the handle down, and we're going to take these 2 little grooves on the side of this, and that's going to slide right in here like that. Okay, then we're going to take this piece, we're going to angle this to the side, basically 90 degrees, and this is going to slide on the other side like that. Lastly, we're going to take this panel and close this up. It just tabs together. And all this stuff kind of holds, gives resistance and holds that panel up. You're going to take this gun. It's going to fold in half. If you haven't already folded, you're going to fold the handle in, fold this in half like this, and it kind of pegs together. And then that's going to fit right here, I believe. Yes. So just like that. Then we take the whole train, plug it back together, and now we've hidden away all those guns. Bit of a parts former, but it does hide away the weapons there. I just wish it would sit on the track properly. And for comparison, there it is with all the trains we've gotten so far, MPG-01 through 04. And it does look nice with all of these together. You can actually tie them together. By the way, the tracks are different sizes. This one's a little bit wider. This one is thinner, this one's thinner, and then this one's wider. So I'm not really sure why they chose to do that, but you can link them together, and then you can take these and you can actually plug them together. There's 2 little tabs on the connector port, and you kind of have to hold it because it likes to fold down. So you got to put a thumb here, hold this together. Okay, and now we got it together. Gently place it on the track. Don't try to roll it, just leave it there. And there you go. You can have the trains all connected. If you connect all the tracks, you can probably get them all connected. But this is just a little bit on the flimsy side. And for our more traditional comparison, there it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime. Obviously, it doesn't scale with the Masterpiece scale. Really meant to go with Chug scale. retail line. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. And I will tell you up front, it is a parts former, so you need to do a little bit of parts forming to make it into robot mode. Go ahead and separate the same thing that we did. We're going to basically undo all the connecting we did. So take off that gun, open that up, set that aside. Open up this panel here. That allows to slide this out, slide this out. You can actually pull this and just reach in there and pull that out for the cannon. And you can actually even pull this out there from there as well. Might as well reassemble this since we have all the parts. Put that together. Go ahead and put that together. Bring the handle down. And now you got your combined mode gun. We'll set that aside. We are going to need this for the end, so just leave this accessible for now. And we can transform this backpack. We're going to go ahead and unpeg this just like we did before. And bring these panels out. You have to kind of angle it out first, then lift up like this. Same on this side, angle it out first, lift up like this. There's a lot of translucent plastic on this figure, so you need to be careful with the order of operations of things. And lift up on this. This is on a upward slider there. That'll allow you to actually rotate this to the other side and then push it back down on this. Fold that in, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Slide up on this slider, rotate the other side, push that back down, close that panel. All right, these are going to come and just sit up here like that. Take this panel, this is going to open up. You're going to slide it open. You're not just going to force it up, you're going to slide it up first. That will allow you to flip it around. Actually, take this whole panel, pull this out. This is going to come all the way around. You're going to fold in this front panel. And that's going to sit right on top. If you don't have this aligned all the way, it won't sit. So make sure you get that. All the way up. And this is going to sit just down like this. There is a peg on the inside of here, and then that's going to port into this panel right here. So just bring that down, and that should align and plug in. And that is ready to be the backpack. So you can set that aside. Now we'll work on this guy. All right, first let's go ahead and open up these panels on the top. They're just pegged in right there. That allows us to pull apart this here. We're going to untab these from here on the top. There's two tabs. And remember, I mentioned there's a lot of clear painted panels, translucent panels, so just be careful. Pull this out, rotate that in, flip this around, and sit it on the outside. On this side, rotate it out, flip it in, rotate, sit on the outside. All right, now we're going to take these legs. You can either use a spudger or just use your fingers, but I'm going to open up this hip skirt here on both sides. That'll give you the clearance to open up the legs wider. Open up this panel. You're going to angle the leg up like this, which will allow you to then pull it downwards. Open up this panel here. This is on a sliding joint. This shape has to fit into this groove, and there's a tab that's going to tab into here. So fold that until it fits properly, and then tab that in. That's how it's going to go. I'm going to take this, fold that down for now. This is going to come back down and tab in right here on this tab. So bring that back down, tab that back in. This can fold inwards and sit there. Bring down the toe. You're going to fold this panel upwards into the foot. You can bring that down. That's going to sit like that. And later I'll talk about what happens with the ankle articulation when you do that. But now you can take this. This is going to come and sit down. Actually, I think it goes upwards. All right, so that's what one leg should look like. We'll do this one a little bit faster. And there are your legs pretty much all done. You can fold down these hip skirts, and now we'll work on the upper body. So come to here, are going to separate the arms. You can slide these panels down all the way on both sides. That gives us some working room. These have to accordion up on these panels, and they're very awkward, but it does have to come up. So we're going to take all of this, accordion this up on this panel here, and it's, and now you can see what you're working with, but basically it's on those panels. And I'm trying not to get it too out of whack so you can kind of see how it's going to work, but fold that down. We're going to take these arms, and these are going to rotate down like this, and then to the back. You can straighten out this arm. And this one, down like this, straighten out the arm to the back. Right. Slide the head forward. We'll take care of all this stuff. I think I accidentally folded this in. We're going to fold that in. You're going to rotate this to the back. You're going to fold this panel down, fold this down, fold that down. In the official transformation, this comes down like that. Personally, I don't think that looks very good, but that is the official transformation. This has to go on top of there. All right, so same on this side. We'll rotate this to the back, rotate this panel in, rotate this panel in, bring this down onto his back, and then fold that forward. Make sure you flatten this and then fold that forward. All right, so it should look like this. Make sure the head stayed pushed forward. Right, it's on a slider. There's actually two sliders. There's this slider, then there's this slider. We're going to open up the arms. So come to here, open this up, fold out the hands. Most of them have been exactly like this, so that's not anything new. Same on this side. Open this up, fold this out, close that up. And some finishing touches here. We're going to fix his chest, and this will probably slide away later, but slide this out. If these aren't all the way down, these won't slide out, so make sure they're down all the way, and they like to move on you, so you gotta make sure. But slide these out. You can see how loose it is. It doesn't lock in place, but that's the official transformation. Come to the back, and we'll take this panel right here. That's going to peg in right there using this tab like that. Then this notch is going to fit into here, and you just got to give it kind of good squeeze. It's on a hinge, so it can be a little bit annoying, but all right. And there is Suiken in his robot mode, and I don't know about this, man. I mean, it's got a lot going on with it. Before I get started here, these chest panels, you know, I've got them pulled out right now, but they easily get pushed back in. So as I go through this review, more than likely those will get pushed back in. So just know I had them out to start. But the main issue here is this backpack. It is just massive. It's pretty heavy too, so he tends to lean back unless you have him perfectly straight. Also, these bits on the arm, we'll put the cartoon image there. Those aren't really in the cartoon. That's just bits. They couldn't figure out a way to, you know, get rid of it. And then you got this hanging off. I mean, that is just unsightly. I'd rather just put it back like that, let it sit there. I think that looks better than having it sit down like this. I don't know. That is the transformation. It's surprising, but it does look better just folded away. Because, you know, I don't know. This likes to get unplugged sometimes, so you just want to, you know, not mess with it. It is on a swivel here, or a hinge. And I wish that hinge would stay up, but it does kind of go down on its own. You do have the missile here, which is accurate, or the gun here on the side, but it's just kind of whatever. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a ball joint. It gets up to there, down to there, rotates side to side. You get a little bit of swivel. He's got orange paint, gunmetal paint, silver paint on the face, and then translucent blue for the visor. It's a pretty good looking head sculpt, but it just, and okay, and that's what I'm talking about with the backpack. It's just pegged in. So let's just leave it off for now. The shoulder rotating around, although if you have this, let's just make sure. Okay, it can clear that, so that's good. But you'll end up bumping this here. And, you'll end up popping it off if you bump it. So I'm just going to leave it off. Shoulders go up to there on this joint. If you use the outer joint, you can get up to there. The inner joint, you can get up to there. So you can get it pretty far up. You have a butterfly joint just due to the transformation. It goes forward. You have a rotation at the bicep. A single joint elbow gets a little past 90 degrees, and there is a cover piece there. Your rotation at the wrist, a single pin for the hands, but they're just one piece. There are no individual articulated fingers. Rotation at the waist. There is an ab crunch. It's just a little awkward, but it does crunch pretty far down to there. Friction joint. There is a soft ratchet here in the hip. If we move all these hip skirts out of the way, the rear hip skirt is a single piece. And we can get the leg up to there. Very soft ratchet. Back. What's going on? Back to here. Huh. Something is blocking it. So even though the hip skirt moves out of the way, this leg will only go back to here. It must be just molded that way. That's all it goes. Out to the side. Again, soft ratchet out to the side. Rotation at the thigh. And I think it's a mushroom peg, hard to tell. 90-degree bend at the knee. This knee, you kind of have to just be careful with it because this can pop out if you're not, if you're a little too aggressive with it. Coming down to the foot, you have an ankle tilt, but it's very limited. That's it. You can move the toe, but then the heel doesn't move, and that actually causes them to be unbalanced. It's a little strange. So if you fold this back down, you get plenty of ankle tilt. But due to the transformation, where this has to fold up like this, it blocks any articulation you would have had. So they must have been like, hey, we need to fold this panel up because otherwise it's sticking out of the bottom of the foot. And then the guys who did that said, well, that's going to block his ankle tilt. They're like, oh, well, we'll give him toe tilt. That's how it feels. All right, as far as accessories, you do get his blaster here done in a gray plastic. At least it's not swirly gray. It's got a little bit of a metallic shine to it. This will fit in the hand. A little bit irritating to get in here because as you're pushing it in here, the handle's folding on you. You have to hold the handle with your thumb, push it in there, get it pegged, and then close it. And well, it looks pretty good. Like I mentioned, he's a little bit unstable just to the backpack, but here you go. You also have kind of a secret gun. If you take apart this combined gun, by the way, this combined gun, it fits very loosely together, especially this joint right here. I can see putting this in his hand and just it constantly coming out. But this front one, if you detach that, bring down this handle, he actually ends up with an extra little gun. I'm just going to leave that. It's just going to keep falling off. But you get a little extra gun here. So you can kind of have that too. Which is kind of neat. You know, his combined gun becomes 3 more guns if you want them to be. Now, I don't know whose hand these ones would fit in, but at least this one does fit in his hand. He can have a second weapon there. So that's kind of cool. All right, we also get the flight stand adapter here, which will fit right here into his butt. Of course, it doesn't come with the flight stand, so unless you have that stand from previous figures, you won't be able to display it. But supposedly the final bot in the box set is coming with the stands that work with this, so we'll take a look at that then. But that's it for his accessories. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime MP scale and the Netflix Optimus Prime, the retail. And obviously, my personal opinion, it fits much better with the retail line chug scale. But of course, that's eye in the eye of the beholder. I just don't think this makes sense with Masterpiece. So final recommendations on the Takara Tomy Transformers MPG Suiken. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to recommend this. It just has too many issues. And let me start by saying the number one issue is kind of fit and finish. Pegs and panels and things tend to pop off or like just move out of the way as you're manipulating and playing with him. The backpack especially is very annoying because it will just pop off very easily and you can't really get it on there securely. Also, this hinge likes to just go down on you. The chest panels, which are supposed to stay outwards like this, very easily move in. They don't lock in place. They really should have had a lock for those. The ankle tilt doesn't work. It looks like it's working right here, right? Well, that's because I cheated. You're supposed to have this panel rotated all the way in. And if you do, it doesn't rotate. So you have to have it a little bit at an angle, and then you can get a little bit more articulation out of it. So it's a little bit of a cheat. But that just seems like their own engineering got in their own way. And for a $150 figure, it really doesn't make sense that they couldn't design the engineering to give you a backpack that stays on and panels on the arms that don't get out of the way and ankle tilt that actually works, right? Things like that. The other thing with this is it's a parts former. It's actually 3 parts that combine to make the robot mode and make the train mode. This cannon, this backpack, and the robot mode. Those 3 parts have to form differently for both train mode and robot mode. And that just seems like, I mean, I'm okay with parts forming, but you're paying $150 for the design and engineering to have a parts former, right? That's something you would expect on a $50 figure, right? A $50 or less figure, not a $150 masterpiece figure. So that's why I can't recommend this. Now, if you're collecting this for train mode, God bless you, because, I guess you could have gone and bought trains. We'll see how the combined mode turns out. I don't think it's going to work out. I haven't done any of the combined modes here in my reviews. I'm waiting for the final figures to show up so I can show you the combined mode. But it's not looking good, and we'll see how it turns out. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.